They bring color and class to the catwalk, introducing new styles and trends. Tailored Ralph Lauren, the exuberant Galliano, inspiring Issey Miyake, the highly respected Paul Smith, and world-renowned Prada, the quintessential artist of fashion. With smart, elegant, and casual outfits, he has become America's most quintessential designer. The man behind it all is Ralph Lauren. Specializing in high-end casual and semi-formal wear for men, women and children, as well as branching out into accessories, fragrances and housewares, his signature style of elegant, classic wear for the stylish country club set has turned Lauren into one of the most sought-after designers that has managed to grow a brand into a billion-dollar business. Ralph Lauren is fashion.
But the focus for me is always about women looking beautiful and looking sexy and looking any way they want to look, but it's really about beauty and flattering clothes.
Lauren's victory, though, came from a lot of hard work and effort. Prior to creating Ralph Lauren, he worked for Brooks Brothers as a salesman and started his own line of men's ties. Ralph Lauren has become one of the world's best-loved designers. With plaid shirts, cashmere sweaters and tweed jackets, while also using a mixture of fabrics such as knits and silks, cottons, sequins, leather and chiffon, his style and designs have allowed us all to experience the upper-class lifestyle without showing off. And so, from humble beginnings in the late 60s, and with thanks to a $50,000 loan, Polo Ralph Lauren was born and has grown into the legendary brand it is today, with the now iconic polo player featuring on many of his designs. By 1969, he had a boutique store located in a Manhattan department store. However, by 1971, Lauren launched his first women's collection and opened his first retail store on Beverly Hills' famous Rodeo Drive. This was the first of countless stores to follow, and by 1981, the Ralph Lauren brand had gone global, with the opening of its first international store on London's Bond Street, an upmarket shopping district. He was one of the first designers to include in his brand houseware and furniture, and one of the first American designers to take his brand, which has a myriad of different labels overseas. In 1997, Polo Ralph Lauren became a public company and traded on the New York Stock Exchange, represented by the symbol RL. Lauren's stock was hot on Wall Street, and in its first day of trading was the most active stock on the exchange. Venturing out into other markets and to show his support for important causes, Lauren and the Polo Ralph Foundation organized campaigns such as Pink Pony, which is an international enterprise that aims to support and care for women with breast cancer. This foundation reaches across the world, including the United States, France, UK, Germany and Japan, and with sales of the Pink Pony merchandise, Polo Ralph Lauren has been able to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to the National Breast and Ovarian Cancer Center. Lauren's place in fashion is undeniable, which is why he is the #1 choice for many celebrities when it comes to showing off their outfits on the red carpet. His designs have a style and elegance about them, which helps Hollywood leading ladies look glamorous at the major award ceremonies. He has also collaborated with Spanish beauty Penelope Cruz with his women's fragrances. Together they created Glamorous, and after its success, they partnered up again for Daylight, a scent for everyday wear. Ralph Lauren the man is truly one of the legends in the fashion industry, who has managed to create one of the most influential brands the world has seen. His eccentric eccentric and quirky, vibrant and gorgeous. And this all makes British rebel designer John Galliano brilliant. He's as bizarre as his designs, and from the beginning of his career has created some of the most spectacular fashion extravaganzas, taking fashion lovers and his followers to places never before experienced. Growing up, he always looked immaculate and lived a rich life full of colour, although it wasn't until his mid-teens, after he attended an all-boys school, that he moved to a London college to study design, and there discovered more of his kind of people. After graduating in 1984 in fashion design from St Martin's School of Arts, Galliano caused a stir with his graduation collection Les Incroyables, which was inspired by the French Revolution. It received positive reviews and was picked up by London fashion boutique Brown's. His designs were put on display and caused a frenzy, and his fashion career was now underway. He began his own successful line of clothing, unfortunately though wasn't receiving the support he deserved, and a number of sponsors pulled out. So he tried his luck in Paris. Here he was rescued by American Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour. Designing outfits in a flash and putting on a successful show, Galliano was fast becoming recognized as one of the greatest designers of our time. By 1995, he was appointed the designer of Givenchy, part of the luxury goods business LVMH, Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, by chairman Bernard Arnault. With this promotion, he became the first British designer to head a French haute couture house. It wasn't long after, and with a number of British Designer of the Year awards to his name, that Galliano became creative director at Christian Dior. His first collection with Dior was presented at the 1997 Haute Couture show, which occurred simultaneously with the label's 50th anniversary. This ready-to-wear collection for the house of Christian Dior at the Gamay Museum drew inspiration from opium dens, Shanghai nightclubs, and 1950s baby dolls. This collection was yet another example of the over-the-top designer's exuberant creativity and the trouble he has with channeling it towards clothes for the shop rack and not the salon. For a finale, Galliano marched out the likes of Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell and a brunette Claudia Schiffer in glimmering red dragon lady outfits. This fashion guru, to many, is now considered royalty in the world of creative design and trends. Galliano now designs a number of collections a year. His outrageous shows are dramatic, exaggerated, and very showy, with themes ranging from paying homage to figures as diverse as William the Conqueror and Genghis Khan, to having models stampede down a catwalk lined with flashing sirens, wearing outlandish headgear, including traditional Japanese warrior-inspired helmets, and ninja-style balaclavas. But without all this flash and pizzazz, it just wouldn't be Galliano. Early in his career, he began his long-lasting collaboration with pop princess Kylie Minogue, designing the costumes for her Let's Get To It tour. And has designed many couture dresses for A-list women to wear on the red carpet, such as Cate Blanchett, Nicole Kidman and Charlize Theron, whom Galliano has quite often referred to as his muse. He is a creative genius who uses his styles and strange combinations to communicate and tell a story. And he is a man who is sure to go down in history as one of the more obscure but greatest original creators in the world of fashion. Issey Miyake is well known in the fashion industry for technology-driven clothing designs, exhibitions, and fragrances. He is a respected and much-loved designer who refers to his designs not as clothing or ready-to-wear outfits, but something more along the lines of art pieces. His designs and shapes are simple, but his colours are mixed, which can sometimes lead to very interesting designs, such as a starburst suit made from gold paper foil. Thinking a little outside of the square, his designs may sometimes appear a little unusual, but at the same time are very attractive and captivating. From the beginning of his design career, it was obvious he had a gift. Born in Hiroshima, Japan, he witnessed the dropping of the atomic bomb on his country. However, with the American occupation of Japan after this, he was able to get a glimpse into Western culture. Knowing he wanted to be a fashion designer, he studied graphic design at the Tama Art University in Tokyo, and by the mid through to the late 1960s, he had worked in Paris and New York for designers and fashion houses such as Guy Laroche, Givenchy, and Jeffrey Bean. He then headed back to Tokyo to set up his first creative studio, the Miyake Design Studio. Wanting both flexibility and movement for the wearer, Miyake eventually resulted in a technique called garment pleating, and by 1993, his long-awaited Pleats Please was launched. The idea behind this was the clothes were first cut and sewn, sandwiched together between layers of paper, and then heat-pressed, leaving the garments with a permanent pleat. Miyake was able to create different effects and shapes by using vertical, horizontal, and zigzag pleats. This is now a trend that constantly falls in and out of fashion, but has left Miyake a creative genius. In 2001, he was honoured as a world leader in a festival of creative genius. Along with some of the world's most avant-garde designers, he was invited to showcase his most radical fashions in an exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. The exhibition, titled "What is Radical Fashion?" displayed the work of the revolutionary and influential designer, with each installation put together to convey the creative vision of the designer. Miyake's installation featured his work Epoch, a piece of cloth, which he focused on from 1998 to research and develop a revolutionary form of clothing. His idea went far beyond the boundaries of fashion. Using a computer-programmed industrial knitting machine, continuous tubes of fabric were created, within which a blueprint of the garment lies. The wearer creates the garment he or she wants to wear. Long sleeves can become short sleeves, and a dress can become a top, all with the snip of scissors. So that he could return to research full-time and come up with more brilliant ideas such as Epoch, Miyake turned over the design of his men's and women's clothing to his colleague Naoki Takizawa in 1994. Takizawa, like Miyake, also experiments with fabric and textures. However, he also incorporates other elements such as music and dance into his designs. Dai Fujiwara then replaced Takizawa in 1999 as creative director of the House of Issey Miyake. Having been a member of Miyake's team since 1994, he helped develop and keep alive the Epoch dream. Miyake has influenced not just the world of fashion, but also his fellow designers. From researching fibers and fabrics to using high-tech computers and laser cutting, his creative ideas are sure to be used for years to come. As a menswear icon, Paul Smith is one of the biggest names in British fashion, and he lets his tailoring do the talking. Once describing himself as only okay at design and okay at business, but exceptional at neither, Paul Smith has become a consistently successful fashion stylist whose clothing and products are sold in over 200 stores. With hundreds of wholesale customers in Japan, he beats out every other European designer.
I've been designing clothes for men for 20 years. I understand the market very well, and I love it. And I thought incorrectly that it was about just making boys' clothes that fitted girls, but there's so much more to it.
Originally wanting to pursue a career in professional cycling, a serious accident put an end to that. However, there was light at the end of the tunnel, as this allowed him to pursue his other passion in life, fashion. He began by working in a local clothing warehouse and soon met up with Pauline Denyer, a graduate of the Royal College of Art, who helped him to pursue his goals. He opened his first store in 1970 while also taking evening classes in tailoring. By selling his own designs, his success eventually led to his own Paul Smith label. He began designing clothes that were well made and of good quality with a simple cut, using interesting fabric and that were easy to wear. Smith's inspirations came from traditional British menswear. He loved things such as his brother's post office shirts, imported US jeans, and custom-made suits in unusual colours. By 1976, he had shown his first clothing collection in Paris and had begun to make classic designs with a twist, and that classy look continues to this day. He has taken the classic schoolboy and schoolgirl look and mixed it up with bright colours and stripes, loud prints, and colours that clash, but all with superb tailoring. His line originally began with men's clothing. However, after realising a percentage of his sales were from women who were drawn to his elegant designs that were classic yet modern, he introduced a women's collection in 1993. With brown flannel suits over cardigans and tie-less shirts, his man-about-town women's wear had gentlemen's tailoring, traditional crombies, front-pleated trousers, shirting and brogues that were redesigned for women. He was able to glam up the business world and take things to the next level, with business suits worn with decorated coloured shirts, along with the traditional tailored look, matching old trends with new. In recent years, his collections have continued with the practical, wearable looks, which have included pencil skirts, fitted trousers, and Smith's trademark tailored coats and jackets. However, colours have been brighter than in previous collections. Fuchsia, electric blue and day-glow yellow have all been used, along with a generous smattering of the old staples black and grey, with fabrics including silk, satin and denim.
As usual, I'm always playing with opposites. You know, classic with a twist, as it's been described many, many times before.
He has worked hard to establish himself as a unique fashion designer and now has 12 different brands under his belt that includes children's clothing, accessories, shoes and furniture. His designs are unusual, fantastic and very English. With awards and success aside, his artistic and individual designs will always be peculiar and loved. Prada is one of the most influential and successful fashion brands today. As one of the most talked about and recognizable labels in the fashion industry that specializes in ready-to-wear clothing for men and women, leather accessories, shoes, luggage, and of course handbags, Prada is all about luxury and quality. With some of the most incredible and extraordinary designs, Prada collections have featured on everything and everyone, from runways to music and award shows, with the who's who of the entertainment industries glamming it up and parading it around. Prada has a long history dating back to the early 1900s. However, it wasn't until designer Miuccia Prada took to the helm in the 1970s that it transformed into the chic luxury goods fashion house that we all know and love today. Starting out mainly as a leather goods, handbags and backpack business, Miuccia began to implement ideas that would eventually transform it into the renowned label. By the 1980s, there were stores located in the fashion capitals of the world, Paris, Madrid, and New York, with shoe lines being released and the classic practical and fashionable Prada handbag that became an overnight success. By 1989, the first ready-to-wear women's line that was popular for its dropped waistline and narrow belts was launched. This shot Prada to fame, and the brand, with its clean lines, plush fabrics and basic colors, became known for dressing high-profile women who worked high-profile jobs. Prada's signature look comprised of lavish fabrics in blacks, browns, greys, greens and creams to give that simple yet sexy and confident style. The men's ready-to-wear collection was launched in the middle of the 1990s, and over the years has seen some very interesting designs. From tailored coral pink or aqua green pants coupled with shirts printed with multicolored hearts and stars, to easy-to-wear basic summer suits, white shirts and beige and grey layered daywear splashed with blue and red hearts. Back in 1992, Miuccia designed Mumu, a daily-orientated, more affordable clothing line from the Prada fashion house. Offering apparel made out of fabrics a little less extravagant than Prada, its clean and stylish outfits cater for a younger buyer, one who can't quite yet afford Prada.
Usually it's what I was not able to do for Prada because it was too young or too strange, and so that's why we started with something else, because that was another aspect of what I like, but very often was not right for Prada. And so Miu Miu is the younger aspect, or more alternative or more rebellious.
In 2003, the Hollywood blockbuster The Devil Wears Prada was released. Based on the international best-selling novel by Lauren Weisberger, the film takes viewers through the whimsical ups and downs of the fashion world while following the life of a struggling woman trying to get ahead and a vanity-ridden boss who is editor of a famous fashion magazine and wears nothing but designer clothes, such as Prada. This gave the famous brand a new lease on life and is now known for dressing some of the most beautiful people in the world. Prada is one of the major designers when it comes to celebrity fashion. Their designs can be sophisticated, elegant, and exciting, and have made some of the world's most stunning dresses for some of the most gorgeous women. Prada's obsession with women and their strong and sexy look has throughout the years intrigued us all, and will continue to do so for years to come.